All right, folks, good morning. All right, let's go ahead and get started. For today, the 25th of September, Wednesday, we have the following economic data coming out today. So, at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern, we're going to have new home sales. That will be the only major report that will be of any significance for the stock market today. The impact is expected to be moderate. The previous reading was actually stronger than expected, and we're waiting to see what the current reading will be. So expectation is 699,000 homes. Um, we'll see if the number comes in higher or lower. Having said that, let's take a look at the NASDAQ ETF QQQ and see what's going on there. Currently, looks like we're going to open lower than where we closed on Tuesday. We gapped lower overnight, but looks like we're returning back to that price at this stage, but still looking like we're going to open lower. And looking at yesterday's action, at first it was bearish. We sold off pretty aggressively after some of the economic data came out negative. We saw consumer confidence, for example, and the Richmond Manufacturing Index both come in worse than expected, a lot worse than expected. But after that initial sell-off, we saw what appears to be a pretty committed bunch of buyers came in, and that moved stocks across the board. But then after that, we just kind of settled slightly higher than where we closed yesterday. All right, that being said, let's take a look at the stocks which were moving yesterday. Pretty short list for obvious reasons. So essentially, we only had two stocks that were worth mentioning for yesterday's session. First up was Amazon. These are both bearish opportunities. Amazon was bearish, able to cross below our target number one to the downside of 192.07. It then bottomed out at 190.13. So that was actually very exploitable for us. Definitely where we could have made some profit. The target number two to the downside was at 189.86. So we went at least well over 80% of the way, maybe 90% of the way to target number two. And then lastly, we had CrowdStrike, which we were able to catch the move from target number one of 290.13 down to target number two to the downside of 285.36. Stock basically bottomed out at target number two to the downside and bounced back up to target number one after that. So very nice move, very quick and very exploitable. Looking at the pre-market, here's what we have so far. It's looking at stocks which are moving right now before the opening bell. These are only we're only looking for stocks at this point. We don't these will not necessarily be optionable. So first is MSGM, which is up 28% on 5.8 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. So we can go ahead and add that to our pre-market radar for stocks. Again, the symbol is MSGM. Sorry, one second here. MSGM. Okay, there we go. Next up, we have OCTO, which is currently up 67% on 13.7 million shares and rising, over $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add Octo to our pre-market watch list. Next up, we have SRCL. This one's down. Wait a minute, that's not right. Oh, actually, it is right. Sorry. This is not down as much as it looks like. I just realized the range is so tight. Never mind, this is only down 1.23%. So we'll skip that one. Next up is TNON, which is currently at 13.43% on 2.5 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add that to our pre-market watch list. The symbol is TNON. And next up I have VSME, which is currently up about 20%, 4.2 million shares, at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add VS, Victor SME, to our pre-market watch list as well. So that's 4 stocks so far. I'll copy and paste them into the chat. If you folks see any other stocks that meet all 4 of our criteria, let me know in the chat. Criteria are: it must be a NASDAQ listed stock, must have achieved at least a 6% price change, positive or negative, in the current pre-market session. It must also have achieved at least 1 million shares of trading volume, and must be at least $1 per share in the current pre-market. All right, Jen, you mentioned ELYM. Yep, that's up 23.78% on 1.3 million shares, and it's over $1 per share. We'll go ahead and add that to the pre-market watch list, ELYM. And if you folks see any other stocks, let me know in the chat that meet all 4 criteria. Again, criteria are: it must be a NASDAQ listed stock. In the current pre-market, it must be at least $1 per share, must have attained at least 1 million shares of volume, and also must have at least a 6% price change, which can be positive or negative. All right, so I suppose that's it. So we'll go ahead and wrap up for this pre-market pulse. Folks, please be sure to like the video. I see we have 7 likes, but more than 7 people watching, so please be sure to hit that like button. Greatly helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And also go ahead and subscribe to the channel, so that way you will get notifications. Other than that, for anyone who's watching this replay, if you're not, this video on a replay, if you're not familiar with our company, check out fundertrading.com, our website. You'll see a link in the description to this video. And folks, I'll see if anyone is part of the coaching program. I'll see you there in about 26 minutes in the coaching room. Other than that, everyone have a great trading session. I'll see you for tomorrow's pre-market pulse. Take care.